Alright, Schlockmeister fans, continuing with my Christmas horror, it's time for To All a Good Night. Let's watch. As you can see, this is the Calvin Finishing School for Girls, and it takes place 2 years ago on Christmas vacation. Which in real time where this movie was 1978. The sorority girls are fooling around, and it's all fun and games until somebody falls off a balcony. Two years later, another group of girls is spending Christmas vacation there. Ooh, there's a lot of cleavage.
Come on now, girls. Dinner's ready.
Meanwhile, the sinister music tells us that this might be a killer. Does that girl look familiar? Like the one who possibly fell off the balcony years earlier? That's a list of girls, and uh-oh, I think they're in trouble. The killing starts early in this film. That dude who got stabbed was waiting for this girl, Cynthia. Apparently they're going to drug the house mother to knock her out so the boys can come over.
So, did you pull it off? Of course. She's on her way to bed and sweet dreams. Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if they're on an island or what, but apparently to get there you have to take a plane. And the boys have arrived. Is that porn star Harry Reams on the right?
We got room for him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't.
One of the boys thinks he can sing.
What it is to run away, vagabond. Running only makes you see. Running only makes you see your.
This British girl is named Trish. She's our next victim. That head's gonna come off. So now we know our killer is dressed as Santa Claus. And a fight ensues. A fight that Santa's gonna win. Making love is a kiss of death in horror movies. We all know this, but apparently they don't.
I'm a man of the land.
Crazy groundskeeper Ralph, is he the killer?
I don't think I know much, but I know when something is wrong. You gotta watch yourself.
How many close, Ralph?
You're the only one. Out of all of them, you're the only one.
That what?
You know.
Oh, of course I have.
This is Melody trying to seduce Alex.
Of course you haven't.
Well, I almost did once.
Imagine. We get to do a first-timer. Oh, what?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, my.
Oh, my God. Oh.
The next day after getting laid, he decides to go after Nancy. That's Jennifer Runyon. Alex is getting confident now. Oops.
Now I'm going to have to get in touch with the other
The cops are here to investigate.
Probably contact their parents.
Hey, do you have to do that?
And they're going to stay here for the week while the rest of them still party. Of course, Mrs. Jensen knows how to get everybody's mind off of a murder.
What we all need is a good hearty meal. I'll start dinner.
That'll do it. So the gang just parties on as if nothing has happened.
Through now. So good night, everyone.
Night.
I checked all the doors, made sure they're locked. Don't stay up too late.
Have a beer. Is anybody over?
Apparently she'll sleep with Alex and this guy.
The hell are you doing?
Here's one of the cops.
Get it anywhere if they want to.
Our survivors are now in survivor mode.
I guess that was kind of a dumb question, huh?
Not really.
Let's go down with the others.
So, Nancy and Alex are apparently a couple now, and so is this chick with one of the cops. Don't you hate when that happens? Everybody's dying now. I can't show you her die because you can see her boobs.
Want to dance?
I'd like that.
Good. Give me a chance to hold you closer.
Our next victim. Great acting by the woman there. They know there's a problem now. What are you going to do, Alex?
I gotta get help.
So this chick named Leia, who's dancing around like an idiot, with no explanation that I can figure out.
Leah? Leah? Oh. Leah.
My baby.
And now we're going to get the big reveal. It's Mrs. Jensen.
You killed my...
It was her daughter that fell.
My first year here, I don't even know her.
You were there!
KO.
Oh, but we're gonna die.
So Melody's trying to escape, and oh by Lord, it is Harry Reams.
Dead. They're all dead. The killer's gonna come after us.
He's the pilot.
What about TJ?
He's dead.
As he's working on the engine, Santa climbs in and starts up the propellers. And just like what happened to her daughter, after a brief struggle, Mom falls off the balcony too.
My wife.
There's two Santas.
Killed our daughter.
But Alex to the rescue. So we had a Santa Claus couple killing people here, and that's our movie. Alright, let's talk about To All A Goodnight, the screen debut of Jennifer Runyon. You may remember from Ghostbusters, as well as she played Cindy Brady, or was it Marsha Brady? I think it was Cindy Brady in one of the Brady movies. It was The Very Brady Christmas, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a horror movie. I guess it's Christmas related. There's a group of kids. Well, it starts off 2 years in the past, and this girl's on a balcony at this school or whatever it is, and she falls off and dies. Fast forward 2 years later, a group of kids are hanging out at this same school. I guess maybe it's for like a winter break, Christmas break. They're just having a big party for a week. I don't know. So there's several couples here. Actually, I don't know if they're really couples because they keep pairing off, but then they change couples and stuff too. So ultimately, though, there is a killer Santa Claus on the loose, killing people one by one. We have a pretty cool decapitation, actually. Some of the couples have sex. So one of the women has sex with this nerdy guy. And then the nerdy guy ends up being with Jennifer Runyon later on, too. So he gets around. Ultimately, we find out that like one of the head mistresses there, Mrs. Jensen, I think is her name, she is in the Santa suit. She reveals herself later on, and turns out it's her daughter that fell 2 years earlier. So she's blaming them all. You knew them. You let them fall. And this Jennifer Runyon, she played Nancy. Nancy didn't even know this girl. Wasn't even around at the time. So it kind of like has a Friday the 13th type feel to it. It came out the same year as Friday the 13th, actually. And then she's following Nancy around, and then she ends up falling off that same balcony and dies. Next, you know, this other guy in a Santa Claus suit, who didn't know it, because there's two Santas apparently, is looking at the body and says, "Oh my God, you killed my wife." Then he says, "You killed my daughter. I should have killed you first." So it's the husband. And then he tries to kill Jennifer Runyon, Nancy, and then Nancy's boyfriend, the nerdy guy, has this bow and arrow and shoots the guy with an arrow through the heart, and then he dies, and that's how our movie ends. So anyway, so the Christmas theme here was a Santa Claus stuff, so that's pretty much it. You'll scream till dawn, right? So anyway, I have seen this movie once before, probably around 1993 or 4 or so. I taped it on SP Speed VHS tape. I haven't seen it since. I knew nothing about it, remembered nothing about it whatsoever, but it's available on Blu-ray now, so I had to pick it up, right? So there is an interview on here with Jennifer Runyon and Catherine Harrington. I'm not sure which one she was, but she's on here, as well as the writer-producer Alex Rebar. Kino Lorber put out this Blu-ray, and it looks pretty good, actually. It's got a couple of nude scenes. It's got a couple of gore scenes in it, including a cool decapitation. However, some of the acting in this movie is pretty darn comical. It's one of these, it's almost like so bad it's so good. That type, so bad it's good type of thing. Jennifer Onion, not bad at all, but some of her co-stars in this movie, eh. In fact, a lot of the co-stars in this movie did almost nothing else. Maybe one other or two other screen credits, that's it. So, the nerdy guy at the end, apparently she was dating, Jennifer Onion was dating him at the time. It's the only movie he ever did, too. So, there was a couple comical scenes like I showed you. This long delayed, I gotta get some help. Wow. So, anyway, that's it. So, anyway, you can get this Blu-ray. It's not super cheap. It's like $22 or so. But it's not bad for what it is. So, anyway, check it out. Let me know what you think about it. To all a good night. Watch it. Merry Christmas. Bye.